starting. Good. We're here.
You have to start it, don't you?
Yeah.
You're
so
in
early.
control.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's your
Welcome to the podcast. I'm Haru. This is Wonder Superior. That's Stacker Magician.
Hey.
So early in the
I'm
morning, which
back.
is why I'm still wearing pajama pants. And this podcast is sponsored by no one. We do not have any sponsors. No One is a great sponsor where you can take a podcast and no one can sponsor it.
You know, you might have to take an initiative in the future if you want a sponsor.
That's right. I'm back. They couldn't keep me away. Your boy is here.
Yeah. You might be a more regular guy.
Oh, it's been a while. I have so many things to say.
You
Get on to the topic.
Have you guys seen the Spider-Man Homecoming movie coming out?
The movie's not
Trailer?
out yet.
It's coming out soon.
You
Have you guys seen the trailer?
or something?
Which one? It's like
Spider-Man Homecoming.
I meant which trailer?
All of them.
Oh, yeah. I think so.
I have not.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I remember seeing the movie poster, like the theatrical poster that's coming out. Why did they make it look like Iron Man? It's another Iron Man movie.
Mm.
It's literally just not an Iron Man movie.
Haven't seen the poster.
Oh, it's like Iron Man and Tony Stark is like it's huge in the right, top right corner, and Spider-Man's in the top left corner. It literally looks like another Iron Man movie.
Huh. All right.
Yeah, you might want to look. Yeah, you might want to look. It
Yeah.
up.
Doing
It's
this
like-
live, baby.
I'm sorry. I don't know to which you were speaking.
Compared to like Marvel movies are actually pretty good.
Marvel movies.
DC
are-
sucks.
I would say that for the live action, but not the animated movies, no.
Well, live action movies they don't know how to do it.
Actually,
I wouldn't say it's that they know that they don't know how to do it necessarily, because I still found like Man of Steel, for example, to be a decent movie, for what it was, but as far as I understood it, Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad was just a ton of executive changes by Warner Brothers, things that just kept getting changed and things that just, I guess it just kind of coalesced into a mess.
Yeah,
That they didn't really take enough time to clean up or anything.
It's a huge mess. Like
Batman vs Superman, you could have easily cut or thinned out the first hour or the first half of the movie, cut out a ton of those small scenes, and it would have made a much more cohesive movie. Whereas, what we got.
I really hated Batman.
And then
vs. Superman.
Suicide Squad kept
Yeah.
changing its themes between whether it wanted to be darker or whether it wanted to be like a little bit more on the comical side because they saw like, oh, Deadpool managed to do that. Why don't we try that?
Yeah, DC's
So-
trying so
It
hard
ended
to
up
copy
being
Marvel.
an awkward mess. And
so here's the thing we have to ask ourselves: is what do we consider in like the DC movies? Because Marvel Universe or Marvel Cinematic Universe, that we all know, is like starts at what, Iron Man or something?
Iron Man 1.
Iron Man 1.
Yeah, and then they've done this whole thing so far. So, in comparison, for DC's version of that, it literally just started. It only has 4 movies in it. Man of Steel, as you said,
Yeah.
Batman vs Superman, Suicide Squad, and now Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Which, as I remember people saying, bad, and Wonder Woman is actually quite good that people are enjoying.
Yeah, but all 4 movies the first 4 movies that Marvel did were really good.
Yeah.
Iron Man 2, Captain America. Well,
Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2 is kind of iffy, but still was kind
Sorry,
of good.
no, what?
It was
Debating that one.
kind of good, but
Also, think about this, like
3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Marvel Studio hasn't always been a thing, but DC has actually just been owned by Warner Brothers for forever.
Yeah.
So there's like far more stuff in the DC library than like just talking about DC movies are bad, but there's the 3 out of the 4 in their current cinematic universe are bad, and some of them aren't always
I feel
great.
like they put more emphasis in their animated movies instead of their live action movies.
That is definitely one spot that I have to say that DC excels in. Their animated anything, with the exception
Yes.
of maybe Teen Titans Go, has
Yeah.
been phenomenal compared to Marvel, especially a lot of the newer TV shows that Disney's been throwing out for Marvel, like the new Guardians of the Galaxy, the honestly the last 2 Avengers ones, whichever ones were out after Earth's Mightiest Heroes, those were crap. The way they're drawn is crap. The way the episodes are written is like some extremely boring, generic, episodic stuff. I guess I'm missing the wrong term, but like those storylines where it's just like it's all
Yeah.
condensed into a single episode. That's all that happens. The villain pops up as some just generic plan. The heroes win. That's pretty much it. It needs to be more of like DC is better at. I feel like DC is better at developing their villains for their animated shows. That they're better at making a longer plot line. The proper words for all this stuff right now, but
think something like Superman versus the Elite was actually pretty good, even though I'm not a fan of Superman.
Also, just straight up, pretty much almost every Marvel straight to DVD movie, crap. Every DC one, amazing. They put tons of money into it. The budget's amazing. The animation's amazing. The voice casting is great. They get good professionals and everything. Whereas half the time with the Marvel ones, you'll see like just a lot of like low time names, or sometimes it's the guys they used in the shows. But Marvel, the last good animated ones that Marvel's conked out, I don't know if Disney did them or not, was Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah. That's
about it. Everything else they throw out afterwards is crap, whereas DC's always been able to release very good shows. All the Batman anime ones are very good. Young Justice is really good, enough that so many people have demanded a season 3, and I think we're getting it on Netflix.
Probably.
I think that's what I've been hearing.
I grew up watching Justice League Unlimited or something.
That
was actually really cool. I would actually tune in after school to go to turn on the TV and see it, and I'm like, oh my god, Batman and Superman, oh Wonder Woman, oh the Flash, oh Green Lantern, Lex Luthor, oh they're teaming up, Static Shock.
Because that shows that DC is also capable of making a good universe, because that was the DC animated universe. So that was the 90s Batman, the 90s Superman, and which went into Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, and then then Batman Beyond as well, and then a few of the straight to DVD movies. That's a contained universe. So we know DC is capable of doing this stuff. We know Warner Brothers is capable of it. But we haven't seen that for live action yet.
Yeah.
Which annoys me. I feel like I want to put part of the blame on Zack Snyder. I don't like his directing at all.
Yeah.
So
it's good. It's kind of good. Like considering the circumstances. Like in a way, it's good that he pulled out of the Justice League movie. Maybe the Justice League movie will turn out to
I
be
thought he
better.
was still in it. I
No,
thought he was still directing, but they pulled out. But Warner Brothers pulled more creative control away from him.
No, he completely pulled out of the movie because something happened in his family, which we're not going to get into.
Okay.
You can probably go on Wikipedia and Google it. There's, the Cruel People posted on Wikipedia.
I think I heard about that. I didn't know. I thought that was just a delay, though.
No, he completely pulled out of it.
Do you mean this poster?
Yeah, that poster.
So
it took me forever to find this. You have a lead roof.
Low quality picture on Google Images.
So in preparation of this, I decided to look up see what our people would say are good DC movies. Some of them, it's pretty nice. I didn't notice some of them were actually based off of comics, because I didn't know some of these were, or even that they were DC movies, because they're all Warner Brothers. Yeah. So, like the Batman movie, like the old one,
the Michael Keaton,
like Adam West Batman.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that.
So,
Rest in peace.
Oh, shark repellent.
Yeah. No, it was just basically a super long episode of the Adam West Batman
of the show.
Batman that people loved.
I loved that.
Yeah, it was cool. And the Adam West Batman inspired so much, even that in the 90s animated series people liked. Okay.
Yeah, it added some of that campy old style humor into it some places.
But they also had Adam West come in to basically pass the torch on to someone. Good job. All right. So they actually just made up their own character just for this one episode. It's like, this is Grey Ghost. This is the action hero, superhero man from the movies and whatever other stuff that Batman watched when he was a kid. He was like, this is the guy. He's like, I looked up to you. You were super cool. And Adam West is sitting there. He's like, this is so cool. Just as the Grey Ghost, he's like, wow. I can't believe I inspired someone.
Did that really happen?
Yeah.
I remember that episode.
Yeah.
I don't remember that
Look
either.
it up.
I don't remember much of the 90s Batman. Plus, I tried to rewatch it on Netflix, and they had the episodes in some weird randomized order.
That'd be on YouTube. I'll have to look it up.
I saw a couple things. It was cool. Also, Superman 1, just the original Superman movie.
Yeah. That one was such a
That
game changer for superhero movies.
Yeah,
literally
I've seen
made
Superman 1.
every-
Even though it's like
possible.
old style one,
even like the Marvel movies, it's set ground for it.
yeah. And it was good
Uh,
that it did that because have you seen any of the old Marvel live action movies, like say
No.
the really old Captain America?
No.
You don't
Oh,
watch.
God.
You do not watch.
I've
that
seen
one.
the old Hulk.
Okay.
What do you
that
mean the
one's
old
hard
Hulk? Do you
to-
mean?
It's just called Hulk.
Oh, I don't mean that one. I'm talking about this was a Captain America one. I think it was like in the 80s or 90s.
Yeah, it was
This is
it was
dated.
Yeah, it was
very
a
dated.
very flimsy costume with like.
Well, like
It was. I believe Captain America stole cars from people twice.
Yeah.
I always thought that was just something that isn't something he should do.
In the MCU universe, he stole it once. He stole a truck from someone. Captain America Winter Soldier. He stole a truck.
Happens all the time now. He was
Yeah.
also on the run. This was Captain America mid-mission.
But yeah, so like there was also Superman 2, and then like the Batman 1989 movie. I didn't look much into that one, but
That was the Keaton one, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that was the first of the that series of Batman movies, right? The one with
Yeah.
crap, I'm missing the
Probably.
name. Who played the Joker in that?
But
Oh my god.
Ledger?
actually,
No!
no,
We're talking about the 89 movie, not Dark Knight.
actually about
All right, yeah. Dark Knight was
Joker.
actually
How do I not remember? He was great. He was one of the best Jokers.
such up Jokers.
Oh, no, not with your internet connection.
Actually, speaking of Jokers for a sec, back to
Oh,
the
which is
Adam
that
West
again?
movie,
Yeah.
or the Adam West version of Batman.
Yes.
Their Joker was like super interesting.
Yes.
'Cause I forgot what
I
his name
found
was.
I found a lot of their villains like because they were reoccurring and they were able to develop them continuously in the show. The Joker, Penguin, Catwoman,
They brought
and
back a lot of.
who was the fourth one? There was like four main ones who kept popping up. There were the
Harley Quinn?
movies. As
Okay,
well.
without that.
No,
series,
Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn originated, I believe, in the animated Batman.
Yeah.
Um,
But without that series, like Mr. Frost wouldn't exist, and people like Penguin and a couple others weren't exactly like tier
Was
one
it Poison
Batman
Ivy?
villains, and they were all brought back because of
Maybe
the, like
Bane.
Adam West series.
no.
No, I think Bane's more recent,
Yeah,
or at least
I can't
recently
remember.
popular.
they were in the Batman movie.
Yeah,
The
they
four
had, like-
villains who were in the Adam West Batman movie. I just can't remember.
Like,
Let's have
some
this
people that-
podcast remembering what the hell we're talking about.
Some
Let's not
people
do that.
today, if the casting choices were made, they would have gotten into a tizzy over because it's like, here's Hispanic Joker who actually did it really well because he was somehow just playing himself.
Mm-hmm.
He was cool. Then it's even Black Catwoman was like, oh man, people probably say something about that. It's like, oh, white genocide, etc., etc. It's
Yeah.
like,
I feel like the Suicide Squad movie would have been way better if they followed the story of like that animated Suicide Squad movie.
That was a very good movie.
Yeah, that one was.
That was the
I'm like-
Assault on Arkham one.
Yeah,
right?
Assault
yeah.
on Arkham. Yeah, I feel like it would have been better if they followed that story a bit, like not copy exactly that. But,
Yeah, well,
you know.
then you would have had Batman in it, so then it felt you had Batman in it, who wasn't technically the antagonist, because I guess from that perspective you perceived the Suicide Squad to be the protagonists of that movie. But then you'd have Batman in a more involved role. But on the plus side, you'd have Joker in a role that actually benefited the movie in some way.
Yeah, Joker in the live action.
I feel like he
Suicide
was
Squad.
literally just there to awkwardly develop Harley Quinn in a way that
Well,
I believe she's already been developed.
Yeah, like Joker wasn't supposed to be like. I feel like if Joker wasn't in that movie, the movie would still go on.
Joker
Like,
should,
just take Joker out of the movie.
some of the earlier stuff with the Joker, especially the flashback with Joker, definitely couldn't stay. But in
Yeah.
terms of Joker meeting up with Harley Quinn, that I feel had no real reason to be in the movie. I felt like that was there just as some Deus Ex Machina plot device to get Harley Quinn to decide, oh, I'm just going to go fight for them again.
Even
It
though
got
she was
her to
doing that
change
in
her
the
mind
first
again.
place?
Yeah, it got her to change her mind back to what she was doing. It just
Like, what was the point of that?
it seemed contrived, and it felt like
Mm.
it didn't really work. It obviously didn't work the way they planned it. Then
Yeah.
again, that movie did changed enough times that it didn't really turn out well. It was still an enjoyable movie, just sitting down as like a generic action movie to watch. I enjoyed it quite a bit from that perspective. But if you're trying to follow the plot and you're expecting something like cohesive and stuff, it's no.
I was
Doesn't
sitting in
work.
the theater
If you watch
very,
it as a-
very
yeah.
confused the entire time.
I droned out about half of it when I was in the theater and just tried to focus more on just like the action that was happening and everything, and it still turned out to be a decent movie. And honestly, I felt like the best character that was developed in that was like that. I can't remember his name, El Diablo or something.
El Diablo.
Yeah, I felt that he was the most developed character in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the character development took place in a bar, mid-movie.
Half of it was the bar. The other half was flashbacks for Deadshot and Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Because they were just constant flashbacking constantly to
I'll admit,
and Diablo too. But
I'll
yeah.
admit the Will Smith casting was actually spot on. For
I had
Deadshot.
no issues with any of the casting in that movie. Pretty much the same with all the other ones, with Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman. Like,
Batman vs Superman, Lex Luthor was
I
kind of
initially
miscast.
that's the only one. Yeah, that one definitely. Jesse Eisenberg can only act one type of character, and that is not the type of character he was given.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, this is kind of awkward. Does he become Joker? And then we have Joker in the Suicide Squad. I'm like, this doesn't make sense anymore.
So, one real quick
It
thing.
would have been fine if like they changed the Joker into Lex Luthor being one person. I'm like, okay, that's a twist. I can roll with that. And then the Joker in Suicide Squad shows up. I'm like, well, this is ruined.
Ben Affleck, though, initially I was torn on it because you know
I think
how
everyone was torn.
you know
on
how he was announced. The internet went
Yeah.
thinking it'd be really bad. I felt that he was the best casting in the entire movie.
Yeah. He
was-
did very well, actually. He surprised me, actually.
I
a
am
lot.
excited for future stuff with him in it. I am actually quite surprised from it.
Yeah, when it was announced, everyone was like, Ben Affleck, really?
It worked out well.
Yeah.
Very well.
Very well.
Yeah,
I'm
so
cutting you off on
that's
purpose.
That's fine.
I wanted to get another casting thing out because
Go
we
for
were
it.
on the topic of casting.
But just back to the old Batman thing for a second. For everything I was saying, it can all be summed up because there's a movie Bob video that he made actually just recently about the old Batman series. It was actually pretty alright. I enjoyed the video. You should go check it out. It explains more or less why the Adam West Batman was so cool. But yeah.
I feel like
Also,
previous research would have been effective.
yeah, I did a bit more. But anyway. Also, some of the other movies I found that didn't know were there. Watchmen, which I completely forgot about.
That's DC?
Yes,
Is that DC?
yes. And a couple more that I super didn't know because I really like one of these
Really?
personally. So, Watchmen, people are joining. It's apparently based off like a DC comic or something.
That doesn't necessarily mean it's like in their DC
Yeah, but it's a
superhero
DC movie.
universe, though.
Yeah.
I feel like I would still treat that as its own thing because it's not in the universe of superheroes like Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman and such like that. It seems to have its own superhero universe, even though it's a DC. Even though, as you say, it's a DC comic. I feel like it'd be its separate thing.
Still a bunch of DC movies.
Yeah.
So,
You know what I find weird? We're talking about Marvel and DC, and yet you're wearing a Sonic t-shirt.
good job.
Way to change the topic to something completely irrelevant that makes no sense.
I just really...
Also,
just
I had no
noticed that.
Marvel or DC shirts, so
Yeah.
sorry.
I
Two
just
things
noticed
they-
that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't dress for this occasion.
Honestly, just noticed that and had to get it off my chest.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I pulled a shirt out of my drawer, I put it on, I walked out the door.
Yeah, I know, right?
I wasn't going anywhere fancy today. It didn't really matter to me.
Yeah, so two things I also didn't know were like DC
Pervert.
like based things was The Losers and Red, which surprised me because I really enjoyed The Losers. One of the few movies I actually liked.
I don't remember either of those existing. What?
Red was the one with like a bunch of old like CIA people and hitmen and stuff, and it's like, oh, we should call out a hit on these old people. They're probably not going to do anything, and then they just end up completely turning it around. And The Losers was crap. Basis for it was they're just a squad of like really good dudes, you know, really good army dudes who get framed for treason. It's like, well, can't make it back into the U.S. We have to like beat this bad guy though and save the world. So they have to go through all of this stuff, and it's like, it's a pretty cool movie.
Yeah, I wonder what. Bleh. Watchmen is DC. It was
Yeah.
published by them. I still don't really feel like it fits into that whole DC superhero universe
Does the
thing.
Watchmen have any powers?
The whole.
Uh,
Yeah, some of them, don't they?
yeah, Also, like, I don't remember, but isn't it based off of like one of the heroes like, okay, we need to prevent like World War III, so he ends up nuking Manhattan, so everyone has to like get together and like get over this and be like, hold on, something bad's happening, we all need to chill. But then he is in the moral dilemma of I can't tell anyone.
I need to
Killed,
actually
like, a
see
bunch
that
of people.
movie.
I've actually
That's-
tried to watch through it a few times, but for some reason, every time I try, I can't get through it.
That
It's
sounds
one of
like
those
an
things
interesting
where
movie, actually.
Yeah.
it should still be on Netflix, but
Ah,
I've
no.
tried many times trying to watch it, and I don't know,
I'll just-
nothing clicks. It can't keep my interest.
I'll just borrow my brother's girlfriend's Netflix account. That's what my brother does.
Netflix from people.
Yeah, that sounds like a very interesting movie. Maybe I'll watch. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll watch that actually.
I still feel like it's its own thing. Like I feel like maybe it was just DC's trying to make their own, like a separate thing.
It was
Yeah.
a thing like what we
It
qualify as, like,
does. It does feel it is completely in a different universe, though. So I feel like it's hard to compare.
this is what
At
we
least
consider a
considering
DC
based on the
movie,
initial
though.
topic of basic Marvel to DC movies, which usually most people would assume to be the more modern attempts at both.
Yeah.
Whereas Watchmen is it's a decade old by now, isn't it?
Something like
Something
that.
like that. Yeah, it was like what, mid 2000s.
Like, it's hard to compare because
Mid
DC
O's?
movies have actually just been around forever and almost always been in-house production.
Yeah, but there are just
or
so many
at
times.
least relatively close to in-house productions because it's all
Yeah.
Warner Brothers.
But there are just so many times people just immediately jump to whatever is the more recent ones
Yeah.
for debates.
Hey,
Mostly
how,
just because that's more topical.
how long ago was Captain America: Civil War how long ago since Captain America: Civil War was released?
Was that last year? 2016?
Probably.
Was it last year?
I think so. I think it was May 2016, something around there.
It feels like it was only a while ago.
It's on Netflix now. It's gotta have been. Well, it definitely wasn't this year.
You guys watched it,
It must have
right?
been last year. Civil War?
Yeah.
I've seen it twice.
I've seen it like 5 times.
I've
Nah.
seen it twice. I usually just, although I tend to keep rewatching the airport scene.
Yeah, the airport scene was great.
That's the bulk of the movie. That's the bulk of why people wanted to see that movie. That's the bulk of the advertising for the movie was the Clash, obviously.
Well, the
And
rest of the movie
obviously
was
that
actually
that
still
movie
good.
was done.
It was still kinda
Villain.
good.
There's one thing I've definitely noticed, definitely for a lot of the recent Marvel movies, with the exception of pretty much Loki, the villains are very weak, very
yeah.
weakly
Well,
written.
at least in this one, it's actually been
like Zemos was
Zemo's intentionally poorly
so bad.
weakly written because they
Well, the
acknowledge-
entire purpose
oh,
of the movie was the clash between the two superhero teams, so he was literally just filler to cause them to like
Well, he's kind of the
sort
reason.
of.
Well, he's kind of the reason why.
Yeah, he's the
well,
cause of it all,
then
but
again,
in the end, he wasn't the focus.
his plan was kind of on chance. It's like, oh,
That
the
plan
Avengers
was-
Accords was and the Avengers Accords was passed out, so I can work my plan around this and turn the Avengers against each other, or that sort of thing. It was still a really good movie. Like I could follow the story very well, and I like
Yeah.
Captain America.
I definitely wouldn't top 3 it though.
Yeah,
The other Cap movies are definitely up and above it.
yeah. I liked Winter Soldier the most though.
Yeah, that's probably still my top one.
Yeah, wait until the next Captain America movie.
I don't think there's gonna be another one.
There is going to be
Look,
another one.
he'll just show up in other movies.
He still has 4 more movies on his contract.
I assume those included Avengers movies, though.
Yeah, the 2 Avengers movies and also 2 more Captain America movies.
Making 2 more Captain America movies?
Yeah, they plan to kill.
Really?
They might kill him off in the last one, and then have.
They do swap them out, yeah.
Remember in the comic books, Captain America was murdered, and the Winter Soldier took over as
Yeah.
Captain America.
Well, that's going to be like a decade at least from now if they keep going on.
I
with
honestly
their
can't wait
universe.
for Avengers Infinity War because they're a team of Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'm like,
I'm not
this is
actually that
kinda-
excited about it.
this is
Weird.
kind of iffy because like most superhero movies are tend to mess up
Yeah.
sometimes.
I'm not excited for any of the upcoming Marvel ones at all. Like Spidey, not really.
Really?
Thor, not really.
Well,
Black
Thor,
Panther,
kinda.
I never really liked Black Panther, and then Avengers is just so far off. I just have no real interest.
Civil War was not much of a
When's
Captain
Justice League coming out?
America.
Is that this year still? No,
Probably this year. I think this
I
year.
am waiting for that.
So
I want to see how well they do a Deathstroke.
Oh yeah, isn't that
Uh,
Slade from Teen Titans?
Yes, because they didn't want to use the name Death in a kids show.
And yet
They went the four
reference-
kids route. Yeah.
And yet they reference death a lot of times.
Yeah, no, but they didn't want Death literally in his name, so
Yeah.
they called him by the actual character's identity, Slade Wilson.
Uh,
So that's why they
But
kept.
still kind
That's
of
why they kept doing that.
That's still kind of mysterious. Like they don't know if Slade's just a handle or it's actually his real name. So it kind of works.
I know.
No, he's basically
He showed up in
just
Justice League.
Except for the ones that actually read the comics and watched the movies and stuff.
Deathstroke was in Justice League, wasn't he? I could have sworn he
Teen
was.
Titans and Justice League aren't in the same universe.
No, they're not. But the character showed up, and
But
obviously
Cyborg's
the
in the
character
Teen
will
Titans.
keep his name.
Yeah.
Also, what the hell is with DC and keeping Cyborg everywhere nowadays?
Cyborg's very popular.
Yeah, I've noticed. They threw him in a lot of the recent Justice League animated movies. He's in both the Injustice games. Have you played Injustice 2?
Yes.
Dude.
So broken.
Dude.
So good. On the other hand, the new Marvel game on console, the port of Heroes Omega, trash.
Well, Cyborg's also in.
I've been attempting
Batman
to do a review video of that for weeks, and just like every time I try to do the editing again, I'm just realizing I
Cyborg's
want to talk about this game because it's crap, but I don't want to talk about it because it's crap and I can't get through it.
Cyborg's also in Batman vs Superman. He's also in. I think. He's
Oh
in
no,
Wonder
he's
Woman.
confirmed Justice League, yeah. But
Yeah.
no, there's been a crazy surge of Cyborg popularity recently. Warner Brothers has been really pushing him to be a main Justice League character. They did that for the animated Justice League movies. They did a reboot of them. There's I believe there's been 2 of them so far, and Cyborg's in it.
Yeah, the thing about these.
Cyborg was basically the hero of one of them.
Yeah,
Yep.
I believe that was
The
the
one where,
first
like,
one. That was
they-
the first one, yeah. 'Cause
yeah.
the second one introduced Aquaman.
Yeah, for
Cyborg
Batman's
also got
plan
his.
to kill everyone.
Cyborg also got his own season in Teen Titans.
I don't remember a lot of Teen Titans anymore.
I think
Go
every
rewatch that.
Well, every Teen Titan had their own season.
they had their own arc. Yeah.
When he went to the villain place, like what villain school? Or
I just need
something.
season
Yeah.
3 of Young Justice. It blew Teen Titans out of the water. So good.
You know what? I really want to rewatch the Teen Titans series. No. And also, I gotta find Justice League Unlimited. Gotta go rewatch my childhood.
Justice League Unlimited might
Yeah.
still be on Netflix. Teen Titans isn't.
I kind of remember there was some sort of huge war between the villains and the superheroes.
In which one?
In Unlimited. Was there a huge war? You know,
There
like
might have
all
been
the-
a couple episode arc or
like
something.
all the superheroes: Superman, Wonder Woman. Green
Congratulations,
Lantern,
that's the
Stag
Justice League. It's all the
Stag Shock.
superheroes.
Wasn't that the invasion of all of like Hawk Girl's friends or people or something? It was like
That was a smaller. Was
they
that?
all rolled
Yeah.
in to mess up or something like that?
I don't remember. It's all older stuff that I just really don't remember that vividly anymore.
So you're not really excited for the new Marvel movies?
No, like I'll go and see them, but I'm not
Also-
really excited for them at all.
Quick
DC,
Justice League note.
what is with DC and making me excited about it? It turns out to be crap, with the exception of Wonder Woman. I heard it's really good. But I still have to go see it for myself.
You really need to see that.
Yeah. I
Maybe
should
this would be
plan a
today
time.
if we did.
Should really plan a time to go.
Oh, you did, and then I'm like, oh no, I have to play card games instead.
Yeah.
No one here.
I'm
has seen the
placing
new
that
Wonder
as a
Woman
priority.
movie. Let's just make that clear.
Hmm?
So take the accuracy of this podcast. No one here has seen this. Let's go.
Assume this came out a month ago.
Yeah, totally. We recorded this like
At first, I only
April
wanted to go see it
2017.
because Wonder Woman's cast Gal Gadot was in Fast and Furious. That was the only reason I wanted to go see it. And then people were saying, "Oh, it's actually really, really, really good." So I'm like, "Okay, I gotta go see this for myself then." And also, I like Wonder Woman. She's pretty awesome.
So, on a quick Justice League note for a sec. When the hell do we get to see Booster Gold? Come on, he needs
Booster Gold.
Booster freaking Gold.
Yes!
man. The best hero you don't know about.
Oh.
So, buddy of mine's a real big comic guy. He's been telling me about Booster Gold. This is like there are a couple DC heroes I know that aren't that are like on the scrub tier that most people won't know.
Yeah.
And that's like Booster Gold is there. Then there's Plastic Man. I'll get to Plastic Man in a second because this man's like apparently super busted. But
Now it's busted as Captain Boomerang.
man, okay, so Booster Gold is apparently like the most important man in the world. Even though he just started off as like the scumbag hero who's doing it for the money. He's like, yeah, hold on, let me sell branding on my costume.
Yeah.
Then he became a freaking time traveler or something. It was like, oh, helping everyone, but I can't tell anyone I'm a time traveler because of how this works.
Speaking of that,
Or even a time.
I
I don't think
believe
it's time travel, but still.
there's one topic within the Marvel vs. DC that's definitely recent that we haven't touched on yet.
Hmm.
The live-action TV shows. And Netflix and whatever.
You mean like the Flash and stuff?
Yeah, like DC has, obviously, Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl.
I've seen Arrow and Flash.
Whereas
Agents of
Marvel
S.H.I.E.L.D..
then has
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter, and the Netflix series, of course. So
Yeah.
Daredevil.
Ghost Rider.
No, Ghost Rider's part of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, is he?
Ghost Rider was added into an arc of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Ah.
So the Netflix ones are Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist. And then upcoming The Defenders. That I'm more excited for.
Oh yeah, the Defenders.
Yeah.
Because they're finally adding the 4 of those. And I'm so glad that the director is not the director for Iron Fist. Ugh. Iron Fist was brutal to get through. It was the directing, the fight choreography was downright horrible, things like that.
Are they being added to the movies?
It's always been considered in the cinematic universe, just like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter are part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However,
I know Agent Carter.
However, apart from mentions, and obviously this is New York City post Avengers, Aliens, Chitauri attack. It's pretty much it is the same universe, but there's practically no connections between the two, or they make no effort to further connect them.
Oh, so Iron Man's not gonna appear.
There's constant mentions of the existence of multiple Avengers characters, usually just like random. It's like, oh, they just like randomly mention Iron Man or Thor or Hulk or something like that in conversation, but they're never gonna show up. Which I find to be extremely annoying, even though it is contained in the same universe.
Kind of understandable. In order to get Robert Downey Jr. to appear, you probably have to pay him a lot of money.
That's the other thing. A lot of budget for a lot of those actors. It would be very costly. But the TV Marvel ones, they're not that good. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. started okay. The Inhuman arc, because they're lacking the rights for X-Men, it didn't really do that good.
Really?
Yeah. Well, Marvel doesn't have the rights to X-Men. Fox still has those.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
How'd they do Deadpool then?
Fox did Deadpool.
Fox did Deadpool?
Disney does not have rights for X-Men.
Oh.
There's
Fox did Deadpool. Fox did Logan.
Yeah.
Fox has always had the X-Men rights, and they still, unfortunately, have the Fantastic Four rights that horribly did those. Disney did talks with Sony for Spider-Man rights.
Yeah.
Just technically, that's some partnership thing.
I know about that.
But Fox has always, and in the foreseeable future, will still always have the X-Men rights.
The reason Marvel got Daredevil back is because it wasn't making I think 20th Century Fox had Daredevil.
They did one movie, but they
wasn't
didn't keep
enough,
it.
and it was like, oh, this isn't worth it.
They didn't keep it, so they were able to
back.
grab that back. But they kept
Yeah.
Fantastic Four and X-Men. But yeah, the TV shows from Marvel weren't that good. The Netflix ones, with the exception of Iron Fist, very well done.
I've grown up watching Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Apparently, people quite enjoy
Which one was that?
The one with Tobey Maguire.
Oh yes, yes.
The three, like the first one was like.
I'm always torn on all the older Spider-Man movies. Where like
they were really good.
The Sam Raimi ones, especially Spider-Man 2 was good. Spider-Man 3 obviously not. But
yeah.
Tobey Maguire obviously was the best Peter Parker I've seen so far.
Yeah.
Whereas the Amazing Spider-Man ones, Andrew Garfield was the best Spider-Man I've seen in the anime ones. I don't like Tom Holland in either role, because the problem is they're technically, the way they're done is still two different styles of characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't...
Well,
that's why I'm not excited about Spider-Man. I feel like he's not a good casting choice. He's a good actor and everything, but I don't...
Well, I kind of feel like...
I feel like the two characters are too close to the same, whereas Spider-Man is obviously, he seems to take more risks, he's more comedic, things like that, whereas Peter Parker isn't. He seems to keep this, though, where, like, obviously the character keeps the persona separate, but the actors I've seen either do one of them well and the other not very well, or can't do either well.
That's the thing that's hard with, like, live-action Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is just a jackass teenager.
And in the previous two incarnations, he really hasn't been a teenager.
Yeah. Like,
Even though in
only now
Amazing he was a
they're
teenager in the
making, like,
first one,
younger
technically,
ones.
but
Yeah.
there's no way.
Like, even now, what the newer Spider-Man is like the youngest Spider-Man they've had so far,
Yeah.
or something.
And even then, he's a pretty good Spider-Man. I don't feel him as a Peter Parker yet. Then again, we
Yeah.
barely saw him as one in Civil War, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
obviously
never,
we need the Spider-Man movie to tell us that.
Yeah,
But
'cause, like, Spider-Man.
I don't have high hopes on it.
Yeah, because like Spider-Man.
I have better hopes for Michael
he's a
Keaton
smartass.
playing Vulture. Because I've always seen Vulture as a
yeah,
really
great.
boring generic villain.
Oh, Vulture's been interesting. Well, this is like.
Like I'm used to
I'm
like
not
him
through all
popping
of
up in
the
video games or in
animated stuff.
animated, and he's
I've
just
seen
like
a couple-
really. He's
I've
just
only
some
read
really
a
old
couple
man. It's
comics
like,
Some
he's
of
with
his
not bad.
animated
or-
ones have been alright.
I never liked the '90s Vulture.
I've only read a couple comics with Vulture
The
in it.
Spectacular Spider-Man Vulture was alright.
I think I've actually seen Spectacular.
It was actually not that.
Crap! That was one of the ones I heard was actually really good, but I never actually saw
I
it
enjoyed
it
it.
through. Like I
Yeah.
only saw Ultimate through.
I actually went through like the whole
Recently.
Sinister Six line or Six arc. Blah. I can't talk.
Yeah. On the other hand, DC's TV shows, all of them, spot on, amazing. Arrow, incredibly good. Flash, incredibly good. Although I started getting confused when they started jumping. It was like, oh, episode of Flash. Nope, then watch episode of Arrow, then episode of Flash, then episode of Arrow, and you have to go back and
That's when they
forth
have the
because
tie-ins, 'cause
when they
make
had the
them really
tie-in, made
close.
it incredibly awkward.
Well, the thing about Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, like they portrayed Peter Parker as like very serious and it was like really dramatic and stuff, instead of like the comedic Spider-Man in the comic books.
Or
But
in
it's kind of
Amazing.
It's kind of understandable though because Sam Raimi's Spider-Man was considered its own movie.
Mhm.
Like it worked really well
They
as
all
a
were
movie.
technically.
As a movie,
Yeah.
I always saw it as a movie. I grew up with that Spider-Man.
Yeah, I guess that's what I get for
Yeah.
being a generation above you. I grew up on the '90s cartoon for Spider-Man and for X-Men and such.
Yeah.
That was actually tied in too. That was tied into its own universe thing.
Yeah, wasn't Fantastic Four and Spider-Man tied in?
Fantastic Four was just a couple episodes in Spider-Man. Spider-Man, originally it was. I actually don't know if the Iron Man original show counted into that, but X-Men was its own show, obviously, and then after that, they made Spider-Man, but then they tied X-Men into it, and then a lot of Spider-Man episodes included other Marvel characters because at the time Marvel believed that those characters couldn't sustain a show on their own. So they always got like an episode or two in a Spider-Man one. So like Iron Man showed up, Nick Fury showed up, Cap showed up, Fantastic Four showed up. They all kept showing up to hold the Spider-Man show. But in the end, that show also didn't do incredibly well. God, the budget was terrible on that one. So much stock. It's so much stock footage.
Yeah. I was just watching
And
animated
then
Spider-Man.
and then after that finished up, they went to Spidey Unlimited. And as much as I loved the concept and the design and the art style and the costume, that
That's
only
Space
got 13
Spider-Man?
episodes.
Was that Space Spider-Man?
That was Space Spider-Man with a cloaking suit.
Yeah.
I love that costume with the cape.
Yeah.
Put a cape on any costume and I automatically love it.
Spider Space.
Yeah, that was the one that had like Venom and Carnage being like all weird, but I kind of like
Yeah.
that. And then a good guy Goblin. A good guy Green Goblin. That was great.
Bruh, Carnage though. Coolest guy ever.
He was good in the 90s Spider-Man, and then they ruined him in Unlimited. They pretty much made him and Venom literally the exact same character. They had the exact same personality. It was awkward. It didn't work too well. But then that didn't fly because that clearly didn't get enough rating, so that one died out. And then that pretty much killed 90s Marvel cartoons at that point. I think other than Silver Surfer, which was some weird show I'd have to see like late at night. And even then, that was a super hard show to follow. It was practically all narration. Barely anything happened.
So it was like Avatar: The Last Airbender?
No.
No.
Live action movie?
That actually had action scenes in it.
Hold on. He said
Half-
live action movie.
Yeah.
We don't count that.
Oh, I'm
That doesn't
considering...
exist. It's been wiped from my memory. Thank you.
No, it was...
I could try back.
It had one good thing. We had the guy from The Daily Show.
Which one?
I can't remember his name. I don't know. He hasn't been on The Daily Show in like a decade. I don't remember. But one of the Daily Show correspondents was one of the villains. It was great. Woo.
Was he Uncle
It was just
Iroh?
so weird because I'm hearing his voice and I always hear his voice in a comedic light. So then I hear it in Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's just like... no, it doesn't work.
Remember Ho Jensen from Iron Man 1? The guy that helped Tony Stark get the shrapnel out of his chest and then died?
Yeah.
He was Uncle Iroh.
Yay.
Can we please turn the topic away from crap movie?
Uh,
And let's talk about Batman
Oh.
vs Superman crap movie. No, let's not.
so,
Well, like 80% of the time we were talking about crap movie that DC made.
I was saying good ones. Thank you. Also, so just one quick thing because I want to talk about Plastic Man for a sec. I've been hearing about this man, and this he sounds dumb. You can look at pictures.
Is this like the
He
DC
looks like a
equivalent of
weirdo.
Squirrel Girl being like incredibly broken?
Oh my God, Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl?
Yeah,
Isn't that
dude,
just Sandy from SpongeBob?
no?
No.
Squirrel Girl is a walking nuclear disaster. Okay,
Oh, jeez, yes.
so, but
Squirrel beats Doom on a regular basis.
yeah. Oh no, they shafted one of their writers because it was like it's the writer. It's always like, it was a Doom bot. You didn't actually beat me or Thanatos, whatever. And then they brought in the like super blue people overseers, and it was like, oh yeah, so you totally just beat the real Thanatos. Good job. And it was like, yeah, way to go, Squirrel. But Plastic Man. So he looks dumb as hell and he's weird, but he's apparently nigh unkillable. Like this man's been turned to stone and shattered. And it's like, oh, nope, nope, nope. He just globs back together. And he's like, hi, I'm back. And also apparently like Marvel or not Marvel, Martian Manhunter.
Hmm.
He's like, afraid of fire and like doesn't do all this stuff. He gets over fire and gets really, really pissed off. He's apparently like the most broken person ever in their like entire universe. Because he just like with a thought paralyzes all of the bad guys on Earth just immediately. It's like they're all gone. Even tore down the Justice League just by like, they're on my side. And then when they weren't, he was like, oh shit. Alright. Beats them all down. Except Plastic Man, who apparently unaffected by him. And is just, hi. What's up? I'm Plastic Man, you can't kill me.
Hey, I don't know how long it's been, but your camera cut off.
Oh, rip.
So I had
What
to,
shame.
so-
People won't be able to look at your hideous face.
Well, no,
Ouch.
he got Plastic Man in.
You bitch.
I'm sure we got the audio for Plastic Man.
No, we got Plastic Man in.
I'll just be the disembodied voice.
But yeah, his camera
Or you
cut
can
off.
sit on his lap, you know. Or the other way around, you know. You're smaller, he'd probably crush you.
His camera cut off. We need a fourth guy to work these things.
Or maybe a fourth camera.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, the typical shot of everyone in one shot. Do both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need
Set
one
up a mirror
camera.
so you can see that it's still going.
I feel like this part needs to be cut out.
Kinda.
Yeah, you
I
can
mean,
do
it's been an hour now,
Okay with it.
so we're. Okay.
Do any of you know anything comic-wise, Marvel or DC?
Read the comic books. A few of them.
That's
We go to a
extremely vague.
comic book shop.
We go to a comic book shop to play card games. Because I was about to say, I'm pretty sure you guys don't. I don't.
I sometimes walk.
We
to the
have
front
nothing
of
else to
the-
talk about.
What,
Let's end
comics?
it here.
Comics. So, as I was just talking about with like Plastic Man stuff, because
Oh, no.
one of my
What have I
buddies, one of my buddies that I just keep talking to, he's like, oh yeah, he's always giving me more information on like comics and stuff and like what's happened. He's like, I didn't know Losers was a comic. He was like, yeah, just send me a thing. He's like, oh shit, that's Losers. It's a comic. Yeah, cool. And he's telling me about like, oh yeah, I was just sitting here reading all this Justice League stuff. I was like, yeah, Plastic Man's like super fucking broken, not unkillable. Telling
Because
me how they
he's
shafted their
plastic.
writers. Oh, no, that dude's like crazy. Yeah. Plastic Man's apparently like just super dude. Not even Superman can do anything about him. He's like, oh,
Doesn't plastic take like 1,000 years for it to decompose?
dude gets turned to stone.
I
and
haven't taken
shattered.
chemistry in a decade, man.
Yeah, and he just like
This is like
globs
basic
together.
garbology.
Yeah,
Did you say herbology?
Garbology.
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 The science of garbage?
Garbage
Is
biology.
that your major?
No,
Okay, then. Then
We just
why
learned
are
that-
you such an expert?
I just learned it in elementary school. I keep forgetting how long it takes for plastic
Garbology.
and stuff to like decompose.
A long ass time.
Let's sit on that for a second. Garbology. What the fuck?
Yeah,
I know styrofoam takes 500 years.
I'll stop with the comics because I don't know firsthand. All I hear is like secondhand stuff from a dude who really, really loves comics.
Yeah.
And like,
And you're throwing in people who really don't know that much about comics. Like,
I understand, but some of it's kind of
it's
interesting.
too much of a money. It's too much of a money dump to dive into at this point. Even if you go for like full sealed like hardcover collections or like
But there's
bound
also
paper
like
ones.
online ways to read them.
There are, but there's still
Like
so
archives.
much.
Yeah.
Way too
On a
much.
quick thing, the Marvel, I believe it's called the Marvel Unlimited app. I think I had it for a bit, actually. Total terrible set up on mobile. Extremely difficult to read.
So
Like,
Like, if you had a
Marvel-
tablet, you were fine. But
so Marvel knows how to
phone, I had
make
issues.
movies, yet they don't know how to make everything else. DC knows how to make everything else,
I feel
but
that
they don't know how to make
I feel
movies.
that Marvel was definitely good at a lot of things before Disney got a hold of them. Their cartoons were definitely getting very good up until the Disney takeover. Although I don't know which ones were actually still active during the Disney takeover. A lot, like Spectacular Spidey, Ultimate Spidey, the first of the Avengers animated ones for the modern era. Those were all incredibly good shows that Marvel did. I don't know if Disney had any hand in them, but all the ones they're churning out now. So
Yeah.
Marvel seems to be doing very well at their live action and nothing else.
Why does it seem like Disney's trying to take over
They're-
everything? They got they got Marvel, they got Star Wars.
Welcome to how corporate works.
Disney will consume all.
Everything will consume all.
Google is Skynet.
Bigger companies will always grab into the smaller ones. It's going to happen with everything. It's happening with Marvel and DC. It's happening with video games a lot of the time too. Companies will take over smaller ones too. Happens in a lot of things now, where there's good and bad to that though, because there's the bad of obviously it's like, oh, you feel like a lot of these things will lose their creative freedom when the bigger entity takes over, but at the same time these bigger entities will obviously have more money and more budget, so a lot of things that wouldn't happen can happen now. So Disney's able to take this big dive now with Marvel because they can do it. Disney's got the money for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Google is Skynet.
but definitely in terms of both though, live action, I definitely do see both sides, Marvel and DC. Definitely DC, I hope it actually does get better. Marvel movies I feel are stagnating. They've reached a point now where, like, Doctor Strange, for example, just felt like another Iron Man movie, for example.
Well, Doctor Strange was actually kind of good.
It's reaching the point where, at least in terms of live action, Marvel's eclipsed. They've hit like they've hit the ceiling of how good it can get. I feel like it's not going to get better. I feel like we're just going to get a lot of the same, which is definitely above par. It's definitely good and enjoyable, but they're not going to exceed any more expectations. Whereas DC, because of they had 3 bad movies, now they have Wonder Woman. At this point, a lot of people see that they can only go up from there, whereas Marvel's flatlining.
Maybe.
So, at the very least, I don't expect anything good or bad from Marvel. It's going to be the same enjoyable it's always been. DC's going to hopefully get better at this point. Because they clearly learned with Wonder Woman. They're clearly taking the time with Justice League. Now they're hopefully taking all the constructive criticism and making it better. So, at least in the future, live action, I see DC getting a lot better.
Yeah, maybe they'll,
Shows though, all the other shows,
maybe they'll make another Suicide Squad movie, and maybe that will be better.
that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's not
That's
happening.
not gonna happen.
I know Harley Quinn's getting her own movie.
I can see a Deadshot movie and a Harlequin movie.
I
That's
can
about
see
it.
every one of the Suicide Squad.
No, just the
except,
first 2.
Except Croc and Captain Boomerang.
Just the first
getting
2.
their own movies.
Get some Red Hood.
I want to see the Katana movie.
Oh well. The majority of Suicide Squad people, they cannot sustain a movie. There's no freaking way. Katana's character was, she has a sword, it cuts things, it steals their soul. That was it.
Yeah.
You
And her husband died.
make a movie on that.
And her husband died.
No,
That's it.
there's absolutely no reason for them to, which is why they're going to do a Batman movie. I believe they were making a Batgirl movie.
Batgirl.
Yeah. I am more excited for what DC's capable of because in this universe, at least, they're still fresh and starting, whereas Marvel has clearly. I don't see them getting better.
Considering feminism is starting to take over the world these days, I'm not going to be surprised if Supergirl and Batgirl are going to have movies, and then they're
That
going to
has
have
nothing to-
Supergirl versus Batgirl. Make it better than Superman versus Batman.
I hate that debate.
Oh man.
Whatever.
Okay, so should we wrap it up here?
That's what I was attempting to do by trying to give like
Yes.
a final explanation on that. So
Well,
that's probably good. That's at least my ending thing. Marvel, I don't see getting better. DC has nowhere to go but up at this point.
I'll save my other topics for next time.
Probably.
Yeah, we kind of reached over the time
Fine.
slot.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's all good.
Okay, so this was Haru, this was Stacker Magician, and this is Wonder Superior.
And don't worry, next time I have shit to rant about, you're gonna see it.
Judge, you might want to have to move into this seat.
Why?
I think the camera cut off again.
Damn it! You suck.
Oh no, it's still going.
Good.
Who cares if it's still going? We're done.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Our links will be in the description. Go follow them. You better do it.
You know I won't.
Damn you!